Hello friends, welcome to Acquire IAS. These lectures belongs to exclusively for UPSC preliminary examinations 2020. Okay, so you can download the Hindu PDF short notes from the given below link. Okay, next, today we are going to discuss about the current affairs of April month, April 21st to 30th of 2020. Okay, so without getting late, let's begin. So our first topic is related to items which are included in the UNESCO intangible list. Okay, intangible heritage list. So let us begin. Manipur, a traditional of making rice beer. Okay, the practice of tying turbine in Rajasthan. Okay, so here you should remember that Manipur's rice beer, Rajasthan's turbine tying, okay, and several other forms of dances, musics, festivals across the countries were among listed in this list. Okay, so altogether there are 106 items in this. Okay, it is listed as a intangible cultural heritage in a draft released by the Union Cultural Minister. Okay, this draft is released by the Union Culture Minister. The culture minister of the present culture minister is Prahlad Singh Patel. Okay, next we see the initiative is part of the Minister's Vision 2024 program. Minister's Vision 2024 program. Okay, next we see as per the UNESCO 2003 Convention for Safeguarding the Intangible Cultural Heritage, the list has 5 broad strategies. Okay, to include any item in this list, it has 5 broad categories. Okay, so what are those? That is oral tradition, second one is performing arts, third one is social practices, fourth one is knowledge, and the fifth one is practice related to nature and traditional craftsmanship. Okay, fifth one is practice related to nature and traditional craftsmanship. Next we say the veena, the oldest musical instrument in the country, and Kumbh Mela and Ram Leela tradition included in this list. Okay, so what are those included? That is, one is veena, second one is Kumbh Mela, third one is Ram Leela is also mentioned in this. Next, the Pachoti festival in Assam. Pachoti festival of Assam is also mentioned in this. What is this Pachoti festival? It is actually a celebration of the baby born, okay, particularly a male born, and it is being treated as the birth of the Krishna, and it is celebrated with their relatives and the neighbors. Okay, next, the oral tradition of transgender. Okay, so here you can see this Kinnar Kantagat and a composition of the Amir Khusro are among the entries from the Delhi. So from the Delhi it entered the Kinnar Kantagat and composition of the Amir Khusro are among the entries. Okay, next from Gujarat's Patola silk is an entry. Okay, why it was entered? That is because of the designer wears. Okay, like geometric and the figurative patterns. From Jammu and Kashmir, the Kalambhat or the Kalambaft Gharana of Sufiana music in Budgam district of the Ladakh is also included in this list. Next, the chanting of the Buddha, the Buddhist chanting across the Leh and the Kargil districts is also included in this. Okay, so let us begin. So these are all important for UPSC preliminary examinations. Okay, so next we see further making of khor, that is kheer in general language, but in Manipur it is called as khor in their local language, and by the Tangukul community in Manipur, as well as other crafts associated with like ground vessels, god vessels, and wicker baskets. Okay, from Kerala it is included, that is Kalari Payattu. Okay, Kalari Payattu. Next, the practice of making designers to entrance homes and temples are called as Kollam in Kerala. Okay, these are all included in the UNESCO's intangible cultural heritage list. Okay, next we see about the different shadow puppets which are also included in this list. So what are they? That is Chamdayacha Bahulya from Maharashtra, Tolu Bommalata in Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. Okay, this is from Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu, not from Telangana. Okay, you should remember this. Not from Telangana, it is Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. Next, Togalu Gombeyatta in Karnataka. Togalu Gombeyatta. Okay, it is in Karnataka. Next is Tolpava Kuthu in Kerala. Next, yours from Odisha, that is Ravan Chaya. That is, if we convert it in English, that is shadow of Ravan. Okay. Next we see further. The Organization of Islamic Cooperation is recently in news. Why it was in news? Because it has criticized the growing phenomena of Islamophobia in India. Why it was growing? That is, many of them after the Majlis, okay, the Majlis case in Delhi, then the Islamophobia has been rapidly increased in India. So what is actually Organization for Islamic Cooperation? Let us see about this. It is the second largest intergovernmental organization after the United Nations with membership of the 57 states. Okay, it is collectively voice of the Muslim world. Okay, whatever the Muslim world is present in this, whatever the Muslim countries is present in this world, it will give the support by the OIC, that is Organization of Islamic Countries. Okay, it is established upon a declaration of the summit which took place in the Rabat Kingdom of the Morocco on September 1969. Okay, it is headquartered in the Saudi Arabia. India is not a member of it, so many of you get confused regarding this. So India is not a member of this, but even though in 2019 session it was invited as a guest for its 46th session of the council by the foreign ministry Okay, next we see about the USCIRF. What it is? It is United States Commission on International Religious Freedom. It has also criticized India in the same lines as the OIC, that is Organization of Islamic Cooperation. Okay, so it has released a report called Countries for Particular Concerns, and it has been criticized for India, Pakistan as well as Cambodia for failure to protect vulnerable religion communities and increased stigmatization in these countries. Okay, but however India is outrightly rejected these concerns because India argued that it is a biased report. Okay, it doesn't have clear-cut clarification, so India rejected outrightly. So next we see that what is USCIRF, that is United States Commission on International Religious Freedom. It is an independent bipartisan US federal government commission, okay, dedicated to defending the universal right to freedom of religious and belief abroad. That is, USCIRF is also protecting the rights of the religious freedom, okay, religious of belief abroad. Next, it is United States Commission on International Religious Freedom is also an advisory body for the US Congress. It is headquartered in the Washington DC. Okay, so please remember this, it is headquartered in the Washington DC. Next we see Civil Services Day is celebrated on the 21st April of every year. Why it was celebrated? That is to commemorate the first Home Minister of Independent India, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, addressed the probationary of the Administrative Services officers in 1947. Where it was held this meeting? That is at Metcalfe House, Delhi. In this address he said that civil servants are steel frame of India. Okay, steel frame of India. However, Warren Hastings laid the foundation of the civil services, and the Cornwallis was reformed it, modified it, modernized it, regionalized it. Okay, so for this purpose, Cornwallis is known as the father of civil services in India. So remember this. This is a important question. That is Cornwallis or Warren Hastings. So it will come as Cornwallis, because Warren Hastings introduced, even though he didn't modernized or rationalized. So it will, this credit goes to the Cornwallis. Okay. Next we see further. In recent policy to curb opportunistic takeover. Okay, so what is this opportunistic takeover? This you have to remember such kind of words which UPSC will give. So for preliminary examinations it is most important. Okay, so opportunistic takeovers of domestic companies goes against the World Trade Organizations. Okay, China is claiming in this way, and the principal countries that shares boundary with AIM can invest only through the government route. So what the entire story is here, that is recently People's Bank of China had tried to, had acquired the 1% shares in the HDFC Bank. Okay, Indian HDFC Bank, that is through automatic route. Okay, automatic route. But now India said the countries which are sharing borders to India, they can only invest through the government route. Okay, and especially for Pakistan and Bangladesh, they have special kind of restrictions also. So now it is most probably impossible to invest China in India. That's why it is saying that China is claiming that these steps are against the World Trade Organization. So India should take back its view. So it is claiming in this way. Okay, so let us see further what the government will do in future days. So let us wait for that. Okay, but most probably government will stand for their decision. It won't obey for their other countries' decisions. Okay, so let us fix for this right now. Let's see further. Next, can a drug used to treat sepsis? So can a drug used to sepsis be developed by the COVID-19 patients? Okay, whatever the vaccines, medicines or drugs which has been developed for the COVID-19 patients, can it be used for the sepsis? Is it possible or not? So Sepsivac is developed by the Cadila Pharmaceutical and Council for Scientific and Industrial Research. Okay, Sepsivac is an immunotherapy treatment. What is this? Sepsivac means Sepsivac is an immunotherapy treatment. The drug contains microbacterium and immunomodulator, which is a non-pathogenic microbacterium. Okay, next we see, here we can see about little bit sepsis. So what it is? Sepsis is a potential life-threatening condition caused by the body response to an infection. The body normally releases chemicals into the bloodstreams to fight an infection. Sepsis occurs when the body's response to these chemicals is out of balance. Okay, that is resistance. We can say that is resistance. Okay, triggering changes that can damage the multiple organ system. Okay friends, so the chemical which is releasing into the bloodstreams to fight the infections, the sepsis will occur the response to the chemical reactions. That is, sepsis is not able to respond to the chemical reactions even though it is still alive. So it is called as resistance. Okay, next we see further, the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare has launched COVID India Seva. Who was launched it? Ministry of Health and Family Welfare's. Okay, it is an interactive platform to establish direct channel communication between the COVID-19 pandemic. That is, it is a Twitter Seva. Okay, it can be used, it can be browsed, accessed from the Twitter Seva solutions, where people can raise their queries over the @COVID India Seva, enabling transparent e-governance. Okay, the dedicated account will be accessible to the people, be it at local or national, to their scopes. Okay, from wherever you are, but you can access this Seva, that is COVID India Seva, okay, at the rate COVID India Seva from the Twitter Seva, that is a Twitter portal, okay. Next we see further, in March 2015, Prime Minister Narendra Modi unveiled a strategy, that is Sagar. What does the Sagar stands for? That is security and growth for all religion in the region, all in the region. That is, once again I repeat this, security and growth for all in the region, okay. So where he visited the three small island nations, that is Seychelles, Mauritius and Sri Lanka, okay. There he unveiled this Sagar, okay. So India's Sagar vision is intended to consultative, democratic and equitable growth, okay. So Indian Ocean Commission, it granted a observer status to India in 1982. So what is the use of observer status to India? That is, by this India can in future dominate its role, okay. For this purpose India was very much keen for this. So next we see IOC is an intergovernmental organization, okay. It is comprising 5 small islands. This IOC contains the 5 small islands. What are those? That is Comoros Island, Madagascar Island, Mauritius Island, Reunion Island and Seychelles. So these are the 5 nations, 5 island nations which are included in this, okay. So IOC, you should remember, that is Indian Ocean Commission. Its members are Comoros, Madagascar, Seychelles, Reunion and Mauritius, okay. Next we see further, in 2012 the IOC was one of the 4 regional organizations to launch the MACE program, okay. The European Union funded the program to promote maritime security. This MACE program is related to the maritime security in the eastern and the southern Africa and Indian Ocean, okay. Next we see further, what is this? Under this MACE, the IOC has established a mechanism for surveillance and control the Western Indian Ocean with 2 regional centers. So what is this 2 regional centers? That is, first one is RMIFC and the second one is, here it is, second one is RCOC, okay. So let us see about this. So what stands this RMIFC? That is Regional Maritime Information Fusion Center. It is based in Madagascar. This is most important, just remember this, it is important for preliminary examinations. Next is designed to deepen maritime domain awareness by the monitoring, means it will monitor each and every aspect in the regions, okay. And it is based in the Madagascar, promoting information sharing and exchange, okay. Next we see about the Regional Coordination Operation Centers. It was based in the Seychelles, okay. Previously it was based in the Madagascar, not it was, that is RMFIC, that is Regional Maritime Fusion Information Fusion Centers, okay. It was based in Madagascar, okay. And the Regional Coordination Cooperation Centers is based in the Seychelles, will eventually facilitate joint coordinate interventions at the sea levels. Information gathered through the RMIFC, that is these 2 will be the coordinate each others, okay, and will give the joint efforts to develop this region. Next we see further, that is IOC held meetings in 2018 as well as in 19 on the maritime security in the Western Indian Ocean, drawing states from the developing nations, okay. Such, I mean major powers, not developing nations, it is from the drawn from the major powers, that is especially India, EU, US, UK, Australia and Russia. So COVID-19 is projected to bring, so here you should remember one thing, that is not only the member states but also the other nations are invited in its meetings, okay. I mean most probably UPSC will ask in such kind of manner, that is the IOC members can only present the meeting of the IOC, so which is a wrong statement. It can be invited or it can be present by any other nations on the special invitees, okay. Next we see COVID-19 is projected to bring most commodity price down substantially in 2020. The World Bank said in the April commodity market outlook. So here you should remember that who will release the commodity markets outlook, that is World Bank. Okay, this is the important. Commodity markets outlook is released by the World Bank. Okay friends, next we see further here prices of West Texas Intermediates, what it is and why it was in news. It is America's benchmark for the crude oil. Okay, why it was this? It was America's benchmark for crude oil. So why it was in news? Because of the crude oil crisis. Okay, because of the oil crisis. So here the oil rates has been fell to less than zero. This means the buyers should give the money to the sellers should give the money to the buyers. Okay, here it is there, here it is, it was mentioned, the sellers have to give money to the buyers. How India is benefiting from this price crash? From two ways. It will benefit from the two ways. That is, first it will reduce the import bill on the oil especially. Okay, second one, India is quietly building a strategic reserves, and okay, so right now the holding capacity of India is 39 million barrels. Okay, so what are the locations where India's reserves are present? That is at Visakhapatnam, Mangalore, Padur and Udupi. Okay, next we see regarding Kandhamal tribes, which is in Odisha. Why it was in news? Because they will rarely go to the barber shops. Okay, they will trim each others. So for example, there are X, Y, Z are there. They are from the Kandhamal tribes. So X will trim to Y, Y will trim to Z, Z will trim to X. Okay, in this way it will go. That is, X will trim to Y, Y will trim to Z, like this. Okay friends, hope so you understood this. Okay, so next we see about the other things. Reserve Bank of India has allowed banks to exclude loans to extended non-banking financial companies from the funds availed under the targeted long-term repo operations. Okay, this is the targeted long-term repo operations, which is most important for determining the priority sector targets. Okay, this is intended to incentivize the banks to lend money to NBFCs. Means by this move the banks can easily lend to the NBFCs. Okay, next we see what are other provisions are there in this. The fund availed under the facility should be deployed in the investment grant bonds. Okay, so whatever the funds it was deployed by the banks to the NBFCs, they should deploy especially, that is in investment grade bonds, next commercial papers, next non-convertible debentures of the NBFCs. Okay, that means now for example banks are giving loans to banks are giving funds to the NBFCs, but in what way it should be given? In the way of it should invest in the grant bonds, it should invest in the commercial papers, it should invest in the non-convertible debentures, okay, of the NBFCs. So in this way they have to give. So and in this also at least 50% of the total funds availed should be invested in the mid and small sized NBFCs. Okay, including the MSMEs, microfinance institutions. Not it is included in the microfinance institutions. This helps banks to get fund for a long duration as compared to the short term. Which is provided in the liquidity provided by the RBI through the other routes, that is liquidity adjustment facilities and the marginal standing facilities. Okay, so this is only for claims, and little bit you have to do a deeper work in this simultaneously. Just like I have mentioned here, liquidity adjustment facility and marginal standing facility. So you have to refer what is the actual meaning in this and what kind of questions will be framed out of this. so you have to brainstorm by yourself. Okay, this is just a booster to you. Okay, this is not the entire concepts. Okay, so let's see further. It is long term. Okay, long term repo operations. Long term, sorry, just wait. Yeah, long term repo operations here was first introduced in the European Central Bank in 2008 crisis. Okay, these crises are very severe, so it was introduced in that way. So it was acronym. This acronym was coined by the European Central Bank and stood for the long term refinancing operations. Next we see Benitian or Banganpalli variety of mango, where it is a mango from the Jagitial districts of the Telangana. Okay, Jagitial districts of the Telangana. Why it was in news? It was in news because of the sales of these mangoes are the slump downs due to nationwide lockdown. Okay, so these mangoes will be circulated around the markets in India. So what are the major centers for these mangoes? That is Delhi, Chandigarh, Ahmedabad, Kolkata, Lucknow, Gwalior and Srinagar. The mangoes are popular for their quality, taste and long shelf life. This is most important. Okay, so it is also important for the long shelf life. Okay, next we see about a judgment which is given by the a judgment given by the 5 constitutional judges. That is, they are saying that 100% reservation for tribal teachers in the schools located in the scheduled areas across the country is an unconstitutional practice. Okay, it is an unconstitutional practice. Why it was unconstitutional practice? Because despite it is a scheduled area, but there are some talented persons, those who can teach well as compared to these people. So why they should not give jobs to them? I mean they are keeping out of competition by the way of protection, that is reservation. So for this purpose it was in news. Okay, so here you can see that merit cannot be denied in 2-2 by providing reservations, altogether by providing reservations. 100% reservation to the scheduled tribes has been deprived. Scheduled caste and other backward classes also in due representations. Not only scheduled tribes but also scheduled tribes and OBCs also in due representations. Okay, the court referred to the Indra Savani case, which is capped the reservation for 50% itself. But how, on what basis it was going to 100%? So it was saying that unconstitutional. So next we see that Supreme Court held that center and state have the power to fix the sugarcane prices. Here you can see that sugarcane prices can be fixed by the center and state, which is recently held by the Supreme Court. Okay, why it was why it was said in that way? Because sugarcane first of all comes under the concurrent list. Okay, so state cannot, but it has some provisions. What are those? Let us see this. State cannot fix a minimum price if the center has already fixed it. Okay, the state is always welcome to fix the advised price. The advised price is a remunerative price. Okay, remunerative price that is higher than the minimum price in accordance with the act. So whenever the center comes in first with a minimum price, the state cannot modify below it. It can modify above it itself. Okay, so this provision you should remember. The rest your question will be done in this way. Okay, so it will come under which act? That is provision of the Sugarcane Control Order 1966 issued under the section 16 of the UP, that is Uttar Pradesh Sugarcane Regulation of Supply and Purchase Act of 1953. Okay friends, so next we see further jobs. So World Bank has been given alert to India. What it is saying regarding the jobs, we will see. Only 17% of the employed have a salaried job. Whatever the demography that is working in India, there are only 17% of the employed having a salaried job, and 1/3 are the casual laborers. Out of that, 1/3 are the casual laborers. This was according to the analysis of the World Bank. okay, and 76% are vulnerable employment in India. Okay, next we see, this is the news regarding the unemployment. Okay, next we see USA keeps a new restrictions on the visa. So why it was in news, what is the purpose of it? So to halt the COVID-19 cases, to increase from the COVID-19 cases in America, the Donald Trump, president of USA, has given a new regulations and restrictions for the USA visas. Okay, so what does he claim the term, what does he given the term? It is called as chain migration. So what is the chain migration here? Chain migration refers to the one who will go for the job in USA, then his siblings, his relatives and his parents, they will all come in the line by line. So he called it this term as a chain migration. Okay friends, so for this purpose he said that in this way I am going to restrict the visa. Okay, not I am, that is USA President Donald Trump, right? So next we see further survey from the World Gold Council. Survey from the World Gold Council, what it has revealed, that it is saying that 29% of the retail investors surveyed that never bought in the past, but now they are opening the ideas to buy the yellow metal. Okay, so there is a huge spike in the demand of the gold in India, yellow metal. Okay, so for this it was in news. So who the survey of gold was done by the World Gold Council. Okay, next we see the annual festival of the Kamakhya temple has been cancelled for the first time. So where the Kamakhya temple will be celebrated, that is in Neelachal Hills. Okay, that is a northern face slopes down, whose Neelachal Hills northern face will slopes down. It is in the Brahmaputra river, built by the Demon King Narakasura. Okay, Kamakhya is one of the 51 Shakti Pitas in the holy sites for the followers of the Shakti cults. Okay, each representing a body part of the Sati, Lord Shiva's companion. Okay, the temple's sanctum sanctorium houses the yoni, female genitals, symbolized by the rocks. This festival marks the menstruation of the goddess. Okay, menstruation of the goddess. So when we see next, here you can see this, Defense Minister launched the MVRDL, that is Mobile Virology Research Diagnostic and Laboratory. Okay, it is developed by the DRDO, Defense Research and Development Organizations, with EISC. Okay, EISC Hyderabad. Okay, for what purpose? It is to give the assistance to the other institutes. Okay, this is the first MVRDL was developed by the Research Center Imarat, Hyderabad. Okay, in consultation with the ESIC. Okay, next we see about the Confederation of All India Traders. What is this Confederation of All India Traders? It is going to launch, just a second friends, let me clear the page first. Okay, thank you. Yeah, Confederation for All India Traders, it will soon launch a national e-commerce marketplace to help the local kirana stores. Local kirana stores. Why? What is the need? What is the purpose behind that? That is the public, the people, who are living at a tier 2 and tier 3 cities, they are most probably dependent on the kirana stores, and the kirana stores which are shut during the lockdown period. So by this the entire nation is struggling for this purpose. So for this the CAIT, that is Confederation of All India Trade, has coming out with the e-marketplaces. Okay, and it will be very much, it will be for the permanent solutions. Okay, next we see about the, and just a second, online solutions with the department of the, it is associating with the Department of Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade. Okay, and some other bodies also. Next we see the National Agriculture Cooperative Marketing Federation is a nodal agency which procures and stores the buffer stock of the pulses. Okay, So whatever the PDS systems are there, whatever the National Food Security Act is there, in that the food will be, the pulses will be stored and it will be sent to the, it will be maintained as a buffer stock. Okay, for this purpose the nodal agency of this department is National Agricultural Cooperative Marketing Federations. Okay, so next we say further, what is the National Board of Wildlife? It has been recommended coal mining in the parts of the Elephant Reserve of the Assam. Okay, a proposal for the use of the approx 99 hectares of land from the Saleki proposed reserve for the land reserved forest land for coal mining. This project was proposed by the Northeastern Coal Field, okay, a unit of the Coal India Limited, this you have to remember this. Okay, next we see the National Board for Wildlife is under the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Okay, Saleki is a part of the Dihing Patki Elephant Reservoir. So where is the Dihing Patki Elephant Reservoir? That is in Assam. Okay, which also includes Dihing Patki Wildlife Sanctuary, and it will also covers approx 112, or else you can say 112 square kilometers rainforest and several reserve forest in Sivsagar, Dibrugarh and Tinsukia districts. Okay, so next we see further the Board of Organizations. It said to open, Board of Organizations opened the Rohtang Pass earlier 3 weeks in advance. Okay, why? What is the reason behind that? That is to transport the essential supplies and relief materials to Lahul and Spiti districts of the Himachal Pradesh amid the lockdown. Okay, the pass is at the 13,058 feet of the eastern Pir Panjal range of the Himalayas. This is very much important. Where is the location of the Rohtang Pass? It can be asked in UPSC, so it is, you have to remember, it is on the Pir Panjal range and 1350 feet above it. Okay, next the National Clean Air Program. Okay, due to COVID-19 the pollution was reducing very much in India, so this is a assumptions, but in reality which is not as much as which are claiming. Okay, so even though whatever the facts which are in news, we will discuss that. So here we can see that the National Clean Air Program aims for an improvement in the 20 to 30% in the air quality by the 2024. So under which program it will come? That is National Clean Air Program. Okay, taking 2017 as a base year. Its base year is 2017. Okay, next we see further how India handled the H1N1 case, that is Spanish flu. Spanish flu is spread out in 1918 in India. It is a very much dangerous, similar to the COVID-19, even though India handled a very much good strategy. Okay, so next we see, sorry for delay. So next we see Spanish flu was caused by the H1N1 influenza virus. So it is a influenza virus. H1N1 is an influenza virus. There is no universal consensus from where it was originated. Okay, Spanish, why then the Spanish was given the name? But during the World War, the Spanish has not restricted on the press. Okay, and the public commonly thought that it was emerged from the Spain, and in that name it has been termed as a Spanish flu. Okay, see here you can see that it has not restricted on the censorship of this press, which is freely published and earlier accounts of the illness, which that is just like now the China is claiming the first person has been infected in USA and US and the vice versa. Okay, so in this way the Spain has not restricted anything, so the name has been came as a Spanish flu. It was emerged in the 1918 and many lives has been taken away by this flu. Next we see further what are the usual symptoms of this flu, that is cough, nasal secretions, fever, loss of appetite, fatigue and headache. For the first time since it started functioning, so it was the next news item. So merging of the two gravitational holes, two black holes, sorry, merging of the two black holes. So why it was in news? That is in merging of the two black holes. For the first time since its started function, the Gravitational Wave Observatory at LIGO scientific collaboration have detected merging of the two unequal masses of the black holes. For example, you can see this. Okay, for example, this is not a reality. For example, this is a 5 diameter. Okay, next it is a 10 diameter, but these two are coming and merging each other. Okay, so it is called as two different masses which has been merged. Okay, so yeah, so one which is of 30 times of the mass of the sun, the other one is 8 times of the solar mass. Okay, so here they give the statics. Next we see further, according to the UNEP, that is United Nations Environment Program, 60% infectious diseases in humans are zoonotic. Okay friends, whatever the diseases came till now, out of that 60% are of the zoonotic. What is zoonotic? That is coming origin from the animals, and 75% emerging from the infectious diseases or the zoonotic in nature. Next, emerging pathogens are like a virus, then any kind of the bacteria, parasites, fungi, and more likely to have a broad host range. Okay, so virus has a broad host range just like coronavirus. Okay, so the UNEP counts many diseases. So here are the some of the list of the diseases. What are they? That is Ebola, bird flu, Middle East respiratory syndrome, Rift Valley fever, severe acute respiratory syndrome, West Nile virus, Zika virus, and COVID-19. The UNEP is also very clear that drivers of zoonotic disease emergence are change in the environment. So what kind of changes are taking place? That is forest fires, clearing the forest for the urbanization, rapid settlements, rural settlements, unplanned urbanizations. Okay, deforestation. There is lack of reforestation, lack of rain harvesting. Okay, water harvesting, overuse of resources, natural resources, like extracting more and more of the water resources, coal, and each and everything. In each and every aspect, humans are exploiting the nature in just like a way. Okay, so now we will see what are the reasons behind this. Okay, for instance, bat is associated by emergence due to the loss of the habitats. Okay, so bat associated with the viruses due to the loss of the habitat. So what kind of virus which has been spread due to this? That is Nipah virus. Okay, Nipah virus, which is linked to the intensifications of the pig farming and the fruit productions in the Malaysia. Next we see the Ebola outbreak in the West Africa, reportedly the result of the forest losses leading to closer contact between the wildlife and the human settlements. Avian influenza was linked in the intensive poultry farming. Nipah virus, as we discussed earlier, right? We see further here, what is One Health? So WHO said One Health is an approach to design and implementing programs, policies, legislations, and research in which multiple sector community and work together to achieve better public health outcomes. Okay, the area of work in which One Health approach is particularly relevant to include the food safety, the control of the zoonosis, and the combating antibiotic resistance. How it can be resistance? That is by maintaining a proper diet and proper behavior towards the nature. Okay, which is not going against to the nature. Next we see Arogya Setu, which is launched, which is available in the 11 languages totally. Okay, it is an to trace the contract tracing technology developed by the National Informatics Center under the Ministry of the Electronics and Information Technology. Okay, its functionalities are such as donating to, it has included two new such functionalities, that is donating the Prime Minister's Cares Fund, PM Cares Fund. Okay, second one, hosting e-passes for the essential services. Okay, whatever the essential services the government is provided, further you have to get the essential further you have to get the essential pass for the particular thing, so you can get that pass from the e-pass, that is through Arogya Setu app. Okay, and recently the Arogya Setu is an mandatory for the NRIs. Okay, mandatory, which is mandatory. Okay, next we see further, it is designed to keep the track of the another Arogya Setu users. Okay, to achieve this using the phone's Bluetooth and GPS capabilities, record and stores on phones the data. It will be stored on the phone itself. Up to it will maintain the data till the time any user tests positive or records symptoms of the COVID-19 in the self-assessment survey in this app. Okay, next it will give the two color codings, that is green color, second one is yellow color. So yellow color will denotes to upload to the severe category, and green category will says about the lower risk of the groups. Okay, next we see, while registering the Arogya Setu app, it will collect some of the personal informations like name, sex, age, phone number, current locations and travel history, that is uploaded to the government services, which then generates a unique digital identity for the users. Okay, next we see further, a report issued by the United States Department to adherence to and compliance with the arms control. Okay, so which is a non-proliferation and disarmament and commitment raised concerns that China might be conducting nuclear tests with the lower yields at the Lop Noor test sites in violations of its comprehensive nuclear test ban treaty. Okay, so CTBT that has came into being in 1996. Okay, so CTBT came in 1996, but it has been failed to enter. Okay, why it has been failed? That is, USA claimed that China and Russia are testing as much, they are testing very much, so it is not relevant. In this way the USA failed, and what the Russia did, they have tested like anything with the competition of the USA. And what the China is saying, USA and Russia has been done, so I have not tested in so far. So for this purpose the test was failed to come into the force. Okay, next we see, due to COVID-19 lockdown, that is coronavirus lockdown, the flamingos are seeking the heaven. Okay, seeking the heaven in the Palikarnai near the Chennai. Okay, Palikarnai is a wetland. It is a freshwater marshy in the city of the Chennai. It is situated adjacent to the Bay of Bengal, about 20 kilometers of the south of the centers. Okay, next we see further, so you should remember this, Palikarnai wetland is in Chennai, that is Tamil Nadu. Okay, next we see Australia and India. They are meant to conduct a multilateral training exercise, combat training exercise, that is Pitch Black 2020, which is scheduled from July 27 to August 14. Okay, which has been cancelled due to the COVID-19 situations, and the next edition will be in 2020. Okay, the bilateral exercise, this OS index is mentioned. OS index is conducted between the India and the Australia since 2015. Okay, next we see further regarding the global military expenditure. Okay, global military expenditure, which is revealed by the SIPRI. The report is revealed by the SIPRI. The global military expenditure rose to $1,917 billion in 2019, with China and India emerging among the top 3 spenders. So who is the first spender in this? That is obviously USA. Second one is China. Then third one comes the India. Okay. I mean, these are in the ranks. Okay, but if you see regarding the investments, USA will be the first, then comes India, then comes China. That is rate of improvement, rate of growth. This is the rate of growth. Okay, and in terms of investment, this will be also the correct. Okay, so next we see further what is there in the depth analysis. Okay friends, so SIPRI is based in the Stockholm International Peace. Stockholm, Sweden. Okay. So China's military expenditure reached at $216 billion in 2019. Okay, which is increased by 5.1% as compared in the 2018. While India's growth was 6.8%. This was a difference just now I have explained you here. Okay, and India's growth was 6.8% to $71.1 billion. Okay, next we see what a little bit ranks in this. The top 5 spenders are: first one is USA, second one is China, third India, fourth Russia, and fifth is Saudi Arabia. Okay, which accounts for 62% of the global expenditure. The annual report trends in the world military expenditure 2019. India's tension. There are the two reasons for these tensions. That is, one thing is the interventions of the Pakistan, both rivalry of the Pakistan, and the second one is the China. Okay, and the major drivers to increase the military spending is they are the major drivers among this. So what's next? The $71 billion spent by India in the defense in 2019 was a 2.4% of its GDP. Okay, 2.4% of its GDP. Okay friends, next, India was at the 4th position in the 2018. Okay, 4th position in 2018, with the Saudi Arabia at the 3rd place. Now it has been replaced the Saudi Arabia. Okay, you can see that. Next, India's growth was 259% in the last 30 years and by 37% in the last decade. Okay, these facts you have to remember. Ultimately there is no any other alternate way, because such kind of statements will directly come in the UPSC. So please be focused on this lectures and make a note of it if possible, or else you can see this video 2 to 3 times, then it will be very much helpful to you. Okay, next we see, however, the military burden fell from 2.7% of the GDP in 2010 to 2.4% in 2019. It is for India. Okay, it is for India. And the defense allocations in the latest budget 2021, which was approved at 3.37 lakh crores. Okay, excluding the detention pensions, accounts for 1.5% of the country's GDP, the lowest in the recent times. Okay, however, the Pakistan's expenditure burden has been increased. Okay, rose to 70% over the last decade, that is 2010 to 2019, to reach the $10.3 billion. Okay, the military burden has been increased from 3.4 in the 2010 to 4% in the 2019. Pakistan was ranked at 24th position in 2019 as compared to the 19th in the 2018. Okay, next we see further about the Bodoland territorial area districts. So Assam's Bodoland territorial area districts was placed under the governor's rule over the expiry of the 5-year term of the council that governs it. Okay, the council will govern the Bodoland territorial area district. Okay, it has been done with the 5-year term, so it came under the governor rules. Okay, so you have to read here about the governor rule linked with the BTAD, that is Bodoland territorial area development area districts. Okay, Its election is scheduled to April 4th, which has been deferred due to the COVID-19. The BTAD comprising 4 districts. Okay, what are the 4 districts? Let me clear this screen, then you can see the map based questions here also. Okay, yeah, now it's clear. So what are the 4 districts of Assam falls under the Bodoland? Okay, so that is the Kokrajhar, Chirang, Baksa and Udalguri. Okay, these are the 4 districts which comes under the Bodoland territorial area districts. Next we see further about what is Bodoland territorial area districts and other areas mentioned under the 6th schedule of the constitution has been exempted from the Citizenship Amendment Act of 2019. Okay, this is very much important, just remember this, because in last years what the UPSC did, it has been asked the question regarding the Aadhaar card, which it can't be come out from the other ones registered in the similar way. So it is also in similar way, that is BTAD and the 6th schedule areas of the constitution which is mentioned. So it won't, they are exempted from the CAA bill. Okay, CAA 2019. Okay, Bodos living in the hills of the conferred scheduled hills tribe status. Okay, those are the Bodos which are living in the hills, those are conferred the scheduled hill tribe status. Okay, next, Mariana Beach was in the news, I mean for one of the some other reasons. So it is in the Tamil Nadu, Chennai. Okay, so please remember the location of the place. Okay, next we see Chamka and Hajong community in Arunachal Pradesh. So first of all you should remember this tribes Chamka and Hajong, which are from the Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, who have allegedly not given the government the ration cards. Okay, so relief package, they don't have any kind of ration card, so they are exempted from the relief economic packages also. Okay, so Chamkas and Hajongs are displaced in the 1960 by the violence and dam erstwhile in the East Pakistan, which is settled in the part of the Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, the Chamkas and the Hajongs do not have ration cards as the state government has illegally and arbitrarily seized those through an order of the 1991. Okay, reminding that denial of the food is a violation of the under article life of the guaranteed under the article 21 of the Indian constitutions. Okay, so you should remember this. So this is a violation of the constitution, it is saying. Okay, so next we see further Chamkas and Hajongs, these are from the Arunachal Pradesh, which we saw earlier. So they are originally residents of the Chittagong hills of the East Pakistan. Okay, these Chamkas who came from, these are the Buddhists and Hajongs are the Hindus, are faced religious persecution in the eastern Pakistan, that is now called as Bangladesh. Okay, Hajongs are the 4th largest ethnic in the Meghalaya, and they are the predominantly rice farmers and have the status of the scheduled tribes in the Indian states, that is Assam and the Meghalaya. Okay, so these facts you have to remember. You should please go through this video once or twice further to get the better clarification, and whatever the little bit I left in this, that is I have not discussed regarding the WHO. Okay, so what is WHO, where it stands, what is the in which year it has been established, headquarters, who is chaired right now at present, so is there any relevance, though it is all important for UPSC prelims as well as mains examinations perspective. So please be focused on that, and I'll come with next video, that is regarding the March. Okay, and for this video, this is that is it for this video. Please do subscribe for Acquire IAS. Thank you very much. Have a great day.